Hey there, welcome back to the scope. I am not sure what happened, but Periscope just like completely froze. So I had to um completely reboot my phone. So hopefully everybody will come back in and I'll just recap and just go through the rest of my list. But to restart with the introduction, and I turned that bright light off of me too, but now I look a little glowy. But anyway, so I am Kimberly Rice Ogletree. I am the Christian divorce coach. I support women of faith who are experiencing divorce, helping to bring clarity and focus to their next steps. I am a certified life coach, a professional speaker, author, and mentor. And I'm going to jump right back into my list. So we were talking about 10 things you shouldn't say to a woman going through divorce. So I'll recap real quick because I think we were on number 5. So number 1 was, I'm jealous. You get to start over. So I said that's probably not the best thing to say to a woman who is going through divorce. Even if your marriage is jacked up and you're like thinking, wow, she actually gets to start over. That's probably not very supportive and not what she's wanting to hear in the midst of going through divorce, because it may be emotional and that's a little jokish and you don't really want to go there. The second one was, let me know if you need anything. And for that one, we said, let me know if you need anything. May not be very supportive either, because a woman probably doesn't even know what to ask for and doesn't really want to reach out in need while she's going through divorce. And most women, don't even really want to talk about it because there's such a stigma that is associated with divorce. Number 3, I never thought he was good for you. Okay. Again, I said, just like when we were growing up, we could talk about our mamas, but nobody else could talk about our mamas because those are fighting words. Same thing goes with divorce. And if that person's been married for any degree of time, there are some feelings there. You don't fall out of love overnight. Hopefully not every night. Don't fall out of love overnight. So saying, I never thought he was good for you, may be hurtful still, even though that woman may feel like her husband was a jerk, he did her wrong, or all those things. She doesn't want you to confirm it, because really she's thinking, well, what did you think of my husband all along? It wasn't always bad. So that may not be too helpful for you. Might not go too well. Number 4 was the question, what happened? You could come off sounding like you're a little nosy, or maybe you're prying, trying to get the backstory, and she may not be ready to talk about what happened. So you might want to leave that one alone. Don't ask. If she doesn't open up to you and tell you what happened, don't ask what happened. Number 5, and I think this is where we were before the broadcast cut off. And I'm thinking, something might still be a little glitchy because, you guys are not back in. So I switched over to my mobile data, and I don't know if that was better or worse, but I came off my Wi-Fi. But anyway, I'm going to keep on going, and hopefully you folks can catch the replay that were in here, before that were watching the broadcast. Number 6, do you think you'll ever get married again? Well, if I'm just going through divorce, I don't really want to even think about getting married again, because divorce is traumatic. So the last thing on my mind is whether or not I think I'm going to do it again. I don't want to think about that. So don't force me to think about that. Don't ask me, do I think I'll ever do it again? That's not helpful. Number 7, I'm so sorry to hear that. I had a funny story about this one too. Okay, so I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, all divorces aren't bad divorces. Not saying that divorce is good, but there are some people that are happy to be getting divorced. Like, they are happy they got the heck out of Dodge. Been there, done that. All of them aren't sad. I remember I had a girlfriend years ago who her husband passed away. And we were at the funeral. And it was after the funeral. We walked out together. And I can't remember. Maybe she was driving me back to my car or something. So we were in the car and we were talking. And, and I was trying to be helpful, saying, things like, wow, I just can't believe this. I think I said something like, it was way too soon because he wasn't that old or something. It's like, it's way too soon. And she was like, no, it's not. I was like, what? Apparently, her husband was one person in the workplace, in the church, and in the community, but he was a whole different animal at home. And so, although she wasn't, well, I can't say that she wasn't happy that he passed. I'm sure she wasn't, because she was a very, very sophisticated woman. But for her, I guess it was almost like a burden had been lifted because they had been living this life for so long. And so to say, I'm so sorry to hear that, it was like she was saying, well, I'm not sorry, so don't you be sorry. So I was like, whoa, okay. So that may not be the best thing to say either. Again, number 8 is don't tell the person what a jerk their spouse was. So again, this goes back to the one earlier that I was talking about. That even though we may think they were a jerk, we don't want you to say that they were a jerk, because even though we think that, there are probably some emotional ties, still some love buried deep down in there, and we just don't want to hear you bash our mate. Number 9, you'll find someone else. You'll find someone else. Well, I don't want to find nobody else right now. Keep that one for yourself. You'll find somebody else. That's not helpful. And number 10. This is the one that's just getting to be too much for Christian folks. I'll pray for you. As if I ain't done all the praying in the world for myself in my marriage. I'll pray for you. Although it's sweet and we know you mean well, it's just not very helpful. I mean, it may be helpful in retrospect, but, because anybody praying for you, well, I don't know, you got to be careful who it is praying for you and what they're praying. So maybe you could say, is it okay if I pray for you right now? Make that thing immediate. Like, sis, is it okay if I pray for you right now? And pray for that person. But 9 times out of 10, when you tell somebody, I'm going to pray for you, you pretty much know they done walked off, forgot all about your little situation, went to the grocery store, went home, cooked a meal, dealt with their own kids, their own man, their own family, and they ain't said near prayer for you. So really, don't. Even if you think it's okay, think it, but don't say it. Do it, but don't say it. Because a lot of women just don't want to hear that. It's like, is that all you got? Like, okay, I have prayed. I've been praying. I've been oiling down the house with the holy oil. I've been doing all that. So God hear my prayers just like he hear your prayers. And although I appreciate the prayers, just pray for me without saying it. Just go on, if you feel that way, just pray for me without saying it. Okay? So that's the list of 10. Number 1, I'm so jealous you get to start over. Number 2, let me know if you need anything. Number 3, I never thought he was that good for you anyway. Number 4, what happened? You just nosy. Number 5, did you really try to make it work? Like, that is so crazy. But that's what a lot of people think in the Christian community. It's like you just didn't try hard enough, or maybe you didn't pray hard enough, or maybe you need to go to church more. Maybe, girl, you just need to hit that altar. Girl, come on now. Most women in the faith-based community really, really want to honor that covenant that they've made. So if they find themselves in a situation where they are going through a divorce, it is probably safe to say that they really, really tried everything they could think of, everything that they could physically or emotionally handle or even think to do. They've tried it. Yeah. So to say to someone, did you really try to make it work? That's an insult. That's an insult. So don't say that. Okay, what was that? Number 5. Number 6, do you think you'll get married again? Well, one think about that. Number 7, I'm so sorry to hear that. We might not be sorry. So no need for you stressing out and feeling sorry for us if we ain't even feeling sorry about the situation. Number 8, don't tell the person what a jerk their husband was. They already know. They don't need you to confirm it. Number 9, you'll find someone else. We happy to be free. Stop. Don't be speaking that over us. And number 10, I'll pray for you. That one gets me every time. I'll pray for you. Okay, so here are some things that you can say. Here are some things you can say. Number 1, you can ask the question, and I said this before, what do you need? What do you need? That's a great question. What do you need from me right now? Or how can I help you right now? Number 2, I love you, girl. Sometimes we just need to be emotionally supported. Number 3, you know what? I have your back. I have your back. Nothing like having that sister girl to walk through the tough times with you. Number 4 goes along the same lines. You can say you are not alone. Because sometimes we just need to know that we're not alone. And especially as a Christian woman walking through divorce, you really feel like you don't have that sister circle support that you need in that difficult time. Especially if most of your friends are married, that gets real tricky. And sometimes we can alienate people when they're going through certain situations just because we don't know exactly how to support them. So you can ask, how can I best support you at this time? That would be a great thing to ask. And number 5, I'm here if you need someone to talk to, or even if you need someone to just listen. Because a lot of times we're not looking for you to solve our problems. We're not looking for you to tell us what we should do. Sometimes we just need somebody to listen to us. And that's it. Sometimes we just need somebody to listen. Sometimes we just need to do a sanity check. Depending on how difficult your divorce is and what you're going through, sometimes we just need a sanity check. Someone to say, girl, you're not crazy. Hopefully you're not. But, we need that sanity check to say, it's not all you. So there you have it. Those are the 10 things that you shouldn't say to a woman going through divorce, and then 5 things that you can say to a woman to support her while she's going through. So I just saw somebody come in, which I'm really thinking that my connection was really horrible, for part 2 as well. But please do catch the replay and share the broadcast if you know people who are going through divorce. If you yourself are having a difficult time in supporting someone that's going through divorce, it's a helpful list. Maybe helpful to you. So anyway, this is Kimberly Rice Ogletree. I am the Christian divorce coach. I support women of faith who are experiencing divorce, helping to bring clarity and focus to their next steps. I am a certified life coach, a professional speaker, author, and mentor. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We'll be back at the beach hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I can find my earpiece. You guys send good vibes away so I can find that earpiece, because really, it's really helpful since it's so windy here. But anyway, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the scope. I'll catch you next time. Talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great night. Take care. Be blessed.